Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Welcome to the 5th episode of the Great Star Wars Throwback Day. Thank you so much for sticking with me for these past couple of years as I have reviewed all of the Star Wars films in chronological order, not in release date order, from episode 1 all the way to episode 6. And of course the other movies are scattered throughout my channel, so if you want to see any reviews from things like Rogue One, or The Force Awakens, or even The Last Jedi, just let me know and I'll be glad to provide you a link. But anyway, today we're going to be discussing what may be the most favorite of the entire Star Wars saga. It is the sequel that some people did not even see coming, but it also featured one of the most iconic moments, not just in Star Wars history, but in film history, and it pretty much turned Star Wars into the icon that it is. And that, of course, is the film from 1980, the follow-up to Star Wars, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. This is also the first time where we have a different director outside of George Lucas and Irvin Kershner, and we also get Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher returning as Luke, Han, and Leia, as well as some additional characters, including the great Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian, and Frank Oz voicing and using his puppeteering, or should I say, muppeteering skills to give us everybody's favorite little green Jedi, Yoda. So, when I grew up and was watching these Star Wars movies, The Empire Strikes Back, to me as a young kid, I really didn't get behind it. But when I was a teenager, I really started to love this movie, and now I truly understand why it is such a great and beloved film in the world of Star Wars. It has an incredible story, great character development, great drama, comedy, romance, but of course, that moment, which we will get to before the end of this video. So at this point in time, we go 3 years into the future, and Luke and Princess Leia are pretty much in charge of the rebellion, and they are evading the Empire at all costs. But the Empire is stopping at nothing to find them and destroy them. But Darth Vader, not only does he want to crush the rebellion, he has some additional plans because Luke Skywalker is this specific person that has just intrigued him ever since the battle of the first Death Star. He believes that this is someone that is heavily trained in the Jedi arts, and rather than killing him, he could possibly provide as a gift to his master, the Emperor, who we all know now as Darth Sidious or Emperor Palpatine, however you want to use his name, but pretty much Darth Vader believes that Luke can become a great master of evil if persuaded perfectly. And that is why this story is so deep, because of the fact that we have Luke, who just wants to end the Empire. He seeks out Yoda because of a vision that he got from his old master Obi-Wan, so he breaks off from the rebellion to go to the Dagobah system, which is this swamp land, and discovers Yoda, and he also finds out that Yoda is one of the more intense teachers of the ways of the Force that he had ever imagined. Darth Vader, on the other hand, is stopping at nothing to find Luke, even killing his own men for the sake of finding Luke. And we also have an amazing score from John Williams with the legendary song The Imperial March, which just adds so much more to the drama and the fear and the evil that is the Galactic Empire. This movie is without a doubt so rich in everything that you want from a movie. It's exciting, it's dramatic, it's even got some moments of sadness, especially when it looks like our heroes are backed into a corner and there is no possible way that we can even get out of this situation. And even when Luke finally goes to find his friends and have his very first showdown with Darth Vader, the true battle of good versus evil turns into a true moment of legend. Now, you've had 39 years to not get spoiled about this iconic moment, so there is no guilt here when I say that in this big duel between these two powers, Luke is told by Darth Vader that he is Luke's father. And when you hear that line, I am your father, even at the time when this movie came out, people's minds were blown. They kept this little secret so far under wraps it was not even funny because they didn't want this getting out. I'm wondering if a movie like Empire Strikes Back with a secret like this could have even survived getting spoiled in the days of the internet that we're living in right now. Probably not, and it probably wouldn't have been such an impact as it was back in the early 1980s, because if it wasn't for this one moment, Star Wars would never have become what it is today. Also, Lando Calrissian is such a great character, so charismatic, smooth, and fun. I could definitely see that some of the actors that came after him definitely took a little bit of his mannerisms and brought them to the big screen in their own performances. Getting Frank Oz to voice and do the puppeteering work for Yoda was fantastic, especially considering the fact that this was a style of puppeteering that was so complex, and we can thank Frank Oz's friend, Jim Henson, who basically made it all possible. The funny thing was, George Lucas even tapped Jim Henson and asked him to be the voice of Yoda and do the puppeteering work. I'm wondering how that could have gone, but Jim Henson, luckily, was busy and said, my friend Frank Oz is available, why don't you use him? And trust me, it's all worked out for the better. Now, when I first met Yoda, watching him on screen for the first time, he did sound like Grover to me, but now he really is his own character. And also, one of the more intriguing characters in all of Star Wars is introduced to us, the bounty hunter Boba Fett. He doesn't say much, he doesn't even do much, but he seems to be such a mystery that the fans just were so eager to learn so much more about. He has gotten so many mangas and comics and fan fictions that revolve around him, but even now, since we've seen his beginnings thanks to Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, he still is one of the more popular. It is definitely one of the more exciting Star Wars films in the library, and if you have never seen it, I really don't know what to say to you. It is such an iconic film, and this time around, it basically made the audience crave more. Not just a follow-up movie, but so many questions rise thanks to Empire Strikes Back. How did Darth Vader become this? Did he even see the birth of his own son? How is it that he even remembered Luke after all this time? So many questions, and thanks to all of these questions, Star Wars just continued to grow and grow. It is definitely one of the best, if not the best. I personally still think that Revenge of the Sith is better, but nevertheless, this movie is fantastic, and it gets 4 stars out of 4 from me. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss The Empire Strikes Back. And I am so excited for Christmas when we officially wrap up this little throwback project for the review of The Return of the Jedi, right in time for Episode 9's release in theaters, and yes, you will get a review for that. In the meantime, I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.